Thank you so much for joining me today, Pete. It's a pleasure as always. I'm a big fan of your work on YouTube, but also with CardanoPress, of course. But maybe some of the viewers don't know you already. So, do you want to give us a quick introduction into yourself and how you got into crypto as well?
Sure. So my name's Pete, and I've been in the crypto space since about 2017 when my friends dragged me into it and said, check out this Bitcoin and Ethereum thing. Smart contracts were booming, ICOs were a craze. And I learned the hard way not to throw all your money into all these ICOs at an early stage. So I left the crypto space in 2018 after that massive bull run then. I didn't see much of crypto since until the next bull run started and Cardano started gaining traction again. You could stake your ADA and be a part of the ecosystem to become a stake operator. And that's where I jumped back in. I did a lot of deep research, understood what the protocol was doing, and became a stake operator. And one thing led to another, because when you set up a stake pool, delegates just don't come. And Patrick, you know that that as well when you had your Babel pool back then too. So we were all competing against each other for delegation, and I thought the best way to go about it was to do what I did in the Web2 space: start a podcast. So I did the podcast, audio podcast. Didn't gain too much traction, but YouTube did. So I got a camera, uh, brushed my hair a bit, and started the YouTube channel. And things have gone crazy since then. I've worked with so many different projects, met so many people around the world, got to travel a little bit and meet all these cool and innovative projects building on Cardano. So it's been quite an exciting journey.
Absolutely, and I think your story is very similar to many people's story. Like joining in 2017, getting excited during the last bull run, thinking crypto is gonna change the world, and then suddenly everything collapses together, and then basically getting back into it. In 2021, I think it was, and that was a very good year for Cardano with Shelly coming out and all the cool developments. So it's really great to have you here. So tell us a little bit about CardanoPress, and then also the proposals that you have in building on NMaker, of course.
So CardanoPress is a plugin that we built for integrating the Cardano blockchain and WordPress. So WordPress is, for those that don't know, is an open source content management system. It powers a massive amount of the internet. I think the last stats were like 42% of the internet, which is crazy. It's been around for such a long time, and it's such an easy tool for anyone to pick up. Like small businesses can pick it up to start their own websites, all the way to top tier agencies in the Web2 space, building websites for all sorts of different organizations. And we thought, pairing our experience with what we did in the Web2 space with what we're interested in Cardano was a perfect match. So we integrated in little features such as the Wallet Connect with Sept 30, and then we started looking into what else we could integrate. So we deep dived into the Blockfrost API and worked out we could do all of these other really cool mechanisms for projects out there to start using. Everything from NFT gated content to staking on a stake pool directly from a website. So you don't need to direct people to those pool explorer websites, which really confuses people. And then you can do all sorts of different mechanisms with that, and with WordPress, like integrations with WooCommerce and e-commerce plays and all sorts of things. And since we've launched that plugin, we've seen all these different projects pick it up and do some crazy things with it. So like a Boss Cat Rocket Club are doing it to manage their land titles and plots within their ecosystem. Copper Seed Safe, which is a little metal sheet that you can ride your seed phrases on, are using in their e-commerce store to give discounts to people that hold their tokens. And there's so many other projects out there are doing some really cool and innovative things. And comic books is a really common one, like a gated content. So if you hold a comic book NFT, you can go to their website and read the rest of the storyline, and you have to collect these NFTs to be able to access and unlock more content. So I absolutely love what people are playing around with and building with CardanoPress, and we made it for the builders and for project owners out there. So really cool to see all this innovation come out from it.
Yeah, and I feel like you and I we are kind of following the same mantra with our two products. Like NMaker is about making Cardano more accessible to people that want to launch NFTs, right? And CardanoPress is basically making Cardano more accessible to people that want to do all kinds of things, right? From token gating to just managing NFT drops and just providing access to stake pools and so on. That's really important because most people can use WordPress, but they cannot use, CIP30 or like any Pluto smart contracts and so on. So it's a really important plugin, I would say. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the proposal you have in the building on NMaker category and what you plan to integrate.
So this one here was a little feature that we needed ourselves, and it was around the whitelisting process for being able to mint on NMaker. So we wanted to create some sort of gamification mechanic within the platforms that people are building so that it makes it a little bit more interesting. So we've got these methods where people are grinding on Discord servers to try and get the highest amount of points on there, and that experience is so boring. It's why do I want to hang around in a Discord server and just chat randomly to people for no apparent reason? So that's a really bad experience. And this, it's also a manual experience, like grabbing people's email addresses, using spreadsheets, and then like working into NMaker for the whitelisting process. So let's automate a lot of that stuff and then create more unique experiences on a branded website that the project owns, and make it a lot more fun for people. And that's what we wanted to create. So our plugin that we're going to build, so we did a little bit of an integration with NMaker already, but we wanted to extend that a little bit further and have that whitelisting process in there. So you can combine that with like a token gating or delegation gating content. You can get to a particular page and then perform certain actions. Maybe you're playing a game. Maybe you have to read a comic book to get past a certain point, and then you get onto the whitelisting process after that. So we wanted to make something a lot more interesting around it. We're just going to build the mechanics behind it for various scenarios that we have played with, everything from surveys to finish reading a comic book to just holding a particular NFT. And then the user has to perform an action to confirm their address, and then we'd be able to submit that to the whitelisting process. So it's really basic mechanics, but really flexible, where anyone that is building on it can do something pretty cool.
Okay, to summarize, basically you're building kind of like a framework that allows me as project owner to go to CardanoPress and say, okay, I want to build up the whitelist for my project, but I don't want to do it in a boring way, but I have like a game, for example, or like some content or like some service, whatever, basically. And I'm going to present this to the community. And once they go through that, then they're able to become part of the whitelist. And then what you're doing is you're basically taking this whitelist and importing it directly to NMaker Studio, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Just trying to make it as easy as possible for people to make unique experiences.
Sounds really good. Sounds really strong. Great. Then I think we're almost at the end already. Do you have any like last words, anything that you want the viewers to take away from your proposal?
If you're interested in building on CardanoPress, if you're interested in just building an NFT community, please just reach out. We've helped so many other projects already use CardanoPress, and it's for someone that hasn't ever built a website before. It's a little bit of a daunting process. So we're more than happy to help take people through that initial process and help you set up everything you need in NMaker as well to get your first mint going. But once you've done it once, it's easy, and we've got a lot of really happy people that have gone through the process and set up some really unique experiences. So we're more than happy to help. We're all here to build on Cardano.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Patrick.